I am not here to feed you bullshit. There are ones in this world who live in the know. I won't be talking about no bells, no mantras, no secrets, no drugs, no background music, melanin, no staring into the sun, no telekinesis, astral projection, telepathy, none of that. I'll be telling you the truth. Welcome to In the Know. How many of you third eye really been open? Matter of fact, how many of you know someone whose third eye really been open or who meditate in this day and age? How many of you tried meditation and haven't felt anything at all? How many of you really even understand what this third eye open even really mean? See, people who had a genuine experience, knowledge and understanding about this third eye stuff outshines any so-called scholar or conscious intellectual who only knows surface information and so-called studied this by far. Now, one thing I could say is I don't know if God pick and choose who he wants to initiate into this universal consciousness realm, because I don't know too many people who's there. Now, it's none of these titles, third eye open, enlightenment, consciousness, none of that. See, to define what it's like is nothing. Nothing will do a service. We've been hearing the right information from the wrong people who never had a genuine experience. And by that, I mean the Kundalini energy rose up your spine. You felt the energy, you felt the chakras open. You enter and understand what it means when they talk about the light and the connection to the sun and your sign and the symbols and the stars, and every last bit of this information become you. People who don't even know what it's like, who never felt what the way that it changes your life. They try to speak about it. They try to explain it, describe it, regurgitate it, it's to say what they heard about it. And what it does is creates ignorance and creates superstition. And then they add stuff to the story and it ruins the genuine experience for someone else. Now, one thing I could say is I don't know if God pick and choose who he wants to initiate into this universal consciousness realm, because I don't know too many people who's there. And I only say that because most people who know about this third eye open information came into this information by accident. And it was because they really seeked out a lot of answers that was unique and different, and the universe answered. It's like you knock on the door and you shout, it shall be open. It wasn't forced. It wasn't for the wrong reasons. And half of us didn't know what we was getting ourselves into. So basically, right, this segment right here basically is your fears, them skepticism. Fear and skepticism. Stuff that they've been saying, people who never been there, it never happened, they never had the experience. Fear and skepticism, just opinion, stuff like that. Now, first of all, listen, we're going to attack number one. Location of the pineal gland. Nonsense that you hear. And like this ain't fear or skepticism. This is just like nonsense right here. First of all, it doesn't matter the location of your pineal gland. I wish people stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Okay, it's located in the middle of your brain or whatever the case may be. Who cares? That information does nothing for you. It don't add nothing to the story. It don't give you nothing to really work with. Even if the middle of your brain look like the eye of Ra, whatever, it doesn't matter. None of that information matters. None of that information can do nothing for you. You dig me? So we just gonna skip over that because it's like describing where the pineal gland is. It's like the experience is more pleasing than compensating. I'm sorry. It's like they tell you information as if it's supposed to do something for or be important or be like, it's like, yo, it's located in your damn brain. That's all you really need to say about that. Number 2, we're going to attack the fluoride. The fluoride, look, there's fluoride in the water. That's it? You done? You done? Because just don't brush your damn teeth. How about that? You know what I mean? Or make your own damn toothpaste. Just like pick. It's either you use the water, you don't use the water, you don't drink the water, you use day water, they trust day water or whoever water, you buy the water. It don't damn matter. It's water. Like real rap. I'm just gonna tell you, like, people make Kool-Aid out of faucet water all the time. Try to pretend that they don't drink faucet water. I'll be like, they don't even make no damn sense. You said you don't drink faucet water, but you make Kool-Aid. Okay. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the chemtrails, okay? Your next thing, the chemtrails. You know, the little planes flying around in the sky or whatever. Look, just don't go the fuck outside. How about that? Stay the hell inside. You dig me? Just cut that on, what they call it, breathing. Yeah, you could cut that out. Seriously. Be different. You know what I mean? Or join the army and find out what the hell that shit is. How about that? You know what I mean? Do something productive. I'm about tired of hearing people talk about all the chemtrails and stuff. They trying to block the sun rays from hitting the energy and all. Your third eye ain't even open. You don't even meditate. You don't give a damn about stuff like that. Let's just keep it real. What's that going to do for you? What you going to stop, go and become an extremist and go fight the people who's doing? Like, no. And you don't know what that stuff is. It could be something that's not even as much as we be creating so many conspiracy theories and stuff. It might not even be nothing. Let's just keep it above. So we're going to skip over the little, I don't know why my hoodie's small as hell. This shirt don't even make no sense. But we're going to skip on to number 3. Number 3 or 4 or whatever. The calcified pineal gland. What the hell does it hurt if you try? You feel me? If your pineal gland is calcified, nigga, they don't know. Ain't nobody doing experiments on that. Ain't nobody, especially with this healthcare, it ain't going to happen. You feel me? So we can skip over the, oh yeah, your pineal gland might be calcified. Who cares? All right, try it anyway. Well, what you got to lose? You feel me? They keep on talking about, oh, people got the pineal glands calcified. There ain't no tapping back into it. And then they got 10 videos on things you should eat to do it. And they ain't even no goddamn scientists. So we're going to skip over that. Let's talk about the melanin. Let's go into the melanin thing. You feel me? Now, we black. Connected to the universe. Universe made melanin. We made melanin and all that good stuff. So is niggas in prison. You dig me? So is niggas out there in the street who doing wrong. So is people who don't got their stuff together. And guess what? White people and other races got melanin too. What did that do for you? There, melanin. Happy? Melanin. Like, it ain't that deep. That information right there is like, yo, okay, we connect to the universe stuff, but teach people how to do that with their mind. You feel me? If you can't do it with your mind or use the melanin or know what benefits really come from through meditation and open up your third eye, stuff like that, you don't need to worry about no damn melanin. You need to be worried about your damn melanin, period. You feel me? Because some people don't even got it up there. They don't even got it all together. So we're going to skip over that one. Stop worrying about some damn melanin. Yes, we black, we connect. Okay, great. Can it keep me out of jail? You feel me? What other benefits do it have other than me being black? Let's just keep it real. Because I still go through the same stuff that white people go through, Puerto Rican people go through, Chinese people go through, whether I got melanin or not. You feel me? So we're going to skip over to spirits. Now, look. Here in that little third eye world, you feel me? When you finally understand or get that understanding, you talking about spirit. Oh, you get to see spirit. You might see some spirits and stuff like that. Let me tell you, I ain't never seen no damn spirits. That's number 1. And number 2, I wish a spirit would. You feel me? Because I understand a little something about death, or my understanding about death just differ from others. You dig me? I think about death logically. Like, for instance, when you die, right? Your brain died, but your energy, it goes elsewhere. Now, don't worry, because the hood that I live in, I might be able to tell you that pretty damn soon. But for real, it's like I ain't dead yet. So we just going to have to deal with this information right here. I don't know. Now, your eyesight gone. Your hearing gone. Your sense of touch is gone. Taste is gone. Smell is gone. Even your memory is gone. You feel me? All you is you butt naked energy walking around here. You got no more senses. What are you going to do to me? Like, really? It's like pretty much everything that would make me fear a spirit was attached to the flesh. Your flesh is gone. You can't smell. You can't see no more. You nothing but energy left. What the hell am I worried about? You really got to think about that. Oh, I see a spirit. If you ever seen a spirit, what is it going to do? Is it going to see you? Do it even know you there? You feel me? It might just be this might be the hell that people was left in. Some people go back to the light. Some people might stay down here and have to mosey around or whatever. Who cares? You dead. Like death. After this life, Death is really life, because if you're supposed to live eternal after this, or whatever the case. So if you believe in the eternity thing, if I only live like 90 years here, after this I'm supposed to be living for thousands and thousands of years in dead world. You feel me? So it's like, this life is temporary. You feel me? This flesh is temporary. So I gotta leave here with something. You know what I mean? Maybe my energy, keep a little knowledge or something, but and then move on to something if you do good down here. I don't know how it works, because I ain't there yet. You feel me? But we gonna skip over that. I'm not really afraid of seeing those like spirits and people afraid of spirits and all that. It's not that deep to me. It's a spirit. It's dead. You know what I mean? Don't worry. You're going pretty soon. We're all gonna know and find out what that world is about. Everybody gonna have their chance. You know, we gonna skip over that. Now we got spirits, melanin, the calcified pineal gland, the chemtrails, the fluoride out of the way, the location of it, like that's all big. Oh, it's located in the middle of your brain, just trying to sound smart, like that does something for you, does nothing for you. You feel me? Now we're gonna skip over to is demonic. Is demonic. Or is unchristian to meditate and or try to, you know, get yourself together mentally, or have your third eye open, or whatever the case. It's demonic, they say, or some people say. Some people just afraid. There's a lot of fear tactics out there. People putting little, you know, stuff in people's ear. They don't even really know what they're talking about, but we're going to skip on to it. Alright, so in that case, you could cut sleep the fuck out. You could cut sitting still the fuck out. You could cut breathing the fuck out. You could cut focus the fuck out. You dig me? Matter of fact, don't even drink water. How about that? How about that? That's what you get. You sleep, you sit still. How about you now? You don't got no way to calm yourself down. You know, when all that breathing you're doing, you try to calm yourself down, you're dead. You feel me? People try to scare you away from the simplest shit. It's like, yo, you sitting still, you breathing, you getting yourself together mentally, you being peaceful, humble, you gain more focus. Oh no! God forbid, even though they book tell you to do it over and over. If it ain't meditating on nothing, it's meditating on the word of God. That's the same thing. And what did the word of God do? What did the word of God do? It breaks barriers in your consciousness. It helps free you. It frees your flesh. The words become flesh. So think about it. So, alright. So, pretty much, the words of the Bible pretty much going to do the same thing meditation do anyway. That's why when you go into the books and the Holy Scripture and it's telling you this and telling you that, it breaks barriers of consciousness. It breaks it so it frees your soul and you feel more free. You start breathing different. Chakras start opening. Certain words can open the chakra, or you could use the breath of life to open up the chakra. It is what it is. So there you go. Fears and a lot of stuff that they talk about or don't know what they talking about, whatever. There you go on that situation. Now we're going to skip on to the next part of the segment. I'm breaking this whole video down and putting it on SIG official little pieces and segments to build up my meditation channel. And I'm keeping this whole video right here exclusive, like the whole shebang on this channel right here to the SIG subscribers. But anyway, that's my take on a lot of fear, skepticism, and just talking about it. Give you a little understanding of people who actually know what the hell they talking about, or been there, or know how to get there, and know what not to say and what not to teach people, and not to just tell people, hey, go open your third eye, because it's not like everything that glitters ain't gold. You feel me? And some people not ready to be unplugged out of the matrix. Like a lot of movies and stuff talk about this consciousness, but they use different characters and different schemes and stuff to try to teach everybody, you know what I mean, what they like, how it is in that consciousness and the stuff you have to sacrifice in order to stay there. Like, not everybody is built for it. You know what I'm saying? People even understand or had to understand it or been there. They not even built for it. That's why they wind up falling. The fall from heaven is literally the fall from heaven. It's like, and heaven mean the sky. But we gonna leave that part alone. Let's skip on to the next part of this video.
See, the one thing I want to speak about is never judge a book by its cover, and you can't take an experience away from me. A lot of people, they see me and they be like, I don't believe you, or I don't know if that's true, or I like judging you on the way you, like, you can see through a person's mind or see if a person is like, no, it don't work like that. You can't take that away from some people. You think that somebody want to burden themselves with this type of information, you tripping. So that's just number one. No, like, this information I don't play with, and I don't just tap into the third eye every chance I get. It don't work that way. It comes with a lot of rules in the Akashic records, or the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it, that really exists, and it make you govern yourself from a moralistic point of like it make you act more like you have morals and integrity, and you are going to be the litmus for a lot of it. Like is something that I would wish on someone who's asking for this type of discipline in their life, because it makes you disciplined, and it might not be for you. It's hardly for me. It's hard to achieve. You really want to take this type of information to the level that it's supposed to be, then you're supposed to be like Christ. You're supposed to give away all your goods and literally walk around and just heal people and try to bring people, to God and stuff like that. Like basically that's where this information, all this type of information is going to lead you to. If you want to be any type of spiritual, you're going to have to give up a lot more than anything. It's about loving your brother, loving your neighbor as yourself. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody died for preaching a message like that. So think about like how the world would treat you. It's not like this message, like this, like the message, the word, the consciousness, everything is a burden. Let me explain my third eye open experience, I guess you would say. Now, I had quite a few of them because I didn't believe it the first time. And then I didn't believe that you could tap into yourself like it was in there. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand it. I had to seek out understanding from other people who went through the same information and the same thing and stuff like that. And I got a lot of information from a lot of different people. And you realize that this is like unique amongst certain people. Like, not everyone knows about this information. Not everybody want to tap into this information or them side of themselves. Not everybody. Some people just skeptical and like learning about it. But to ask for this, no, I didn't ask for it. But unfortunately, I can't unlearn what I've learned. Now, for the most part, my experience was incredible. You dig what I'm saying? You start eating better, or you start at least focusing on wanting to eat more healthy. You dig what I'm saying? But you push yourself forward to eating more healthy because you realize that the food is connected to your thought life, and you realize that you eat these certain foods and you start thinking a certain way, and that actually has some type of truth to it, a lot of truth to it, because you feel it. Unfortunately, you feel it. Anyway, you start breathing better, but then that turns, it has a negative as well, because like everything has a negative. Every positive that comes into your life that's new, it has a negative effect as well. But I'm gonna just talk about like the breathing better. When you start to breathe, you start to open up chakras and stuff like that. But nobody talk about if you don't maintain that, the living in the breath life and living in that world, that pretty much the pains that come when you actually retracting away from that lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle, like meditating and breathing techniques and stuff like that, and the third eye open, all of that is a lifestyle that you have to maintain. You know what I'm saying? And it might not be for you. I told you, I don't play with this information. That's why I stayed a fallen soldier, or a fallen angel, or whatever. Not a fallen angel, but I stayed, kind of like leveled out, because I realized that it's not something that you want to play with. However, when you do tap into this side of yourself, you appreciate life a lot more, and you start to realize, like, I should have been here. I should have just stayed doing this and stayed on my path. But it is what it is. Things happen. But anyway, you start smelling better. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about, I ain't stinking nothing. I mean, you start smelling the trees and stuff. You start getting that clairvoyance and clairsentience and stuff like that. That is true. You definitely, that's just during meditation in general. When you start to breathe in, your breathing opens up your lungs. You start to allow a lot more, your senses open up or whatever. You become super focused. You dig what I'm saying? You start to see things and kind of like HD, because there's no thoughts or distractions in a way or whatever, so you're very clear-minded. The clear-mindedness, however, it takes some getting used to, because pretty much, let's just put it this way, you can't really think of, a big ebony POV.com, you know what I mean? You can't think of stuff like that, or whatever your preference, and you can't get your rock, paper, scissors on this easy, because it's replaced with confidence, but you still be like, yo, what happened to my sense of, because it forced you to stop thinking of negative thoughts and lust. It forces you to stop thinking of it as much, and you really realize, hold up, I can't just trigger these lustful thoughts as easy as I used to. And you might, and some people might not like that, but anyway, you might not be ready for the journey just on that part alone. But we're gonna skip on to pretty much, it's like you learn how the universe speaks to you through situations, circumstances, people, nature, all. You realize it really is all connected, and it knows you, and it has like some signature print of things that's going to happen in your life. Or if you do this, then this going to happen. If you do that, it's something set up. No matter what happens, it's like everything is already divine. It's already like, even if you don't know, or even if something is not known in the future, still it's going to make it seem like, yo, this was all a setup. You know what I mean? You start to see too many coincidences. You start to hear things over and over. You start to, while you say something, then the TV say something, then the radio say something, then your dog say something, you be like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? So it does become kind of crazy. You do become a little bit more, intuitive into that side, into that nature of you, that self that's just noticing the invisible things and stuff that people don't really talk about, or just everyone goes through, but don't really have a book for it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's like you remember a little too much about your day. You know what I mean? You become a lot more energetic and humble. I became a lot more energetic and humble. You know what I mean? You unintentionally intuitive, driven. You more spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And you enjoy the simplest things about life. After a while, you start to realize that every little thing is a blessing. Even having a good meal, it's no real distractions that's getting in the way to tell you like that's a good, like this is going good or not. You realize that everything becomes a blessing because your thoughts is not in the way of telling you something is negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you got something to do that day, everything that get in your way, as long as you got what you needed to get done, then you pretty much just realize, wow, like you don't really think of what you had to go through as long as you had got to do what you had to do. Certain things become a lot more easy, a lot more simple. A lot of stuff don't talk to you while you're doing it, like, oh man, you gotta go all the way over there, and you gotta go all the way over there and do that, and you gotta go all the way over there and do that. It don't tell you negative things that ruins things that you have to get done. It start to realize, wow, you start to realize like, wait a minute, I used to be bitch about doing certain things in my life, and I'll be in my head telling myself, why am I doing this, or why am I doing that, or what is doing it, how long is this going to take, oh, this is going to be forever. And it stops that chitter chatter. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's just one of the benefits that come with it. It stopped you telling yourself negative stuff while you need to get things done, or what you're doing already. You don't need to tell yourself over and over, hey, I'm going to be late for work, or hey, I'm going to do this. You just be like, hello, boss, I'm going to be late, and you call it a day. You don't really trip over little stuff anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff that you got to do is you got to drink a lot more water because you do get sick easier. Imagine having a lot of, breathing in all of that, like your lungs open up. So you're breathing in a lot of negative energy, and but germs and bacteria and stuff like that as well, so you get sick easier, especially if you don't maintain that breathing techniques and keeping up, you know what I mean, with your body. Like you don't exercise either, then it's kind of like, yo, you're going to have a fall from heaven. We call it a fall from heaven, because you're going to realize when you're in a heavenly state where you don't need nothing to make you happy, you feel like you in heaven. When you fall is because you start to do or adapt to the things that you used to do, or the thoughts that you used to think, because you're not used to being there, and you don't know too many people who meditate or have their third eye open anyway. So you're on a solo journey by yourself. That's why you see certain people who's just like the Erica Badu's and stuff, the people who you could tell had a genuine experience and is on their own path. You know what I mean? Nobody can tell them nothing because they understand they had that influence from the universe to tell them that they was doing something right, and they felt the experience. They didn't think nothing. They didn't just use their faith for just, you know what I mean? It's something that happened. It's something that you can't take away from somebody. That's what happened to me. That's why I talk about it so much. That's why I have so many videos on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you could take away from somebody. Sorry, but you can't tell me my third eye wasn't open. I felt the Kundalini energy rise up my spine. I'm learning about what Kundalini energy is a week later. Like, what the hell is this? What exactly happened to me? Or how do I know what this is? Or did anybody else have it? Like, I'm reading, buying DVDs and reading books and trying to learn. And then I'm realizing that all of this stuff is connected. And I'm in this book and that book and this book and that book. And I'm learning and researching and all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of this information is just like, it come from the Akashic record. You realize, oh, that came from that and that came from that, so that had to be true. It's like a place that exists. it sounds crazy, so I don't really talk about stuff like this. If you notice, my channel would turn into like a whole bunch of other stuff that's not talking about this, because this stuff sounds a little crazy to people who wasn't there. You know what I mean? And it kind of implements a little bit of fear in people, because people be like, I don't know if he's telling the truth, or what are you trying to sell, a book or something? But they don't know if to trust people who third eye was open. And then people be saying random stuff and maybe taking conspiracy theories so far, and people be getting booked over certain information. They become terrorists and like crazy people and stuff. Not people who third eye open, but just people who is into information that's not really the norm. Then they become like so much outsiders that people be looked at them and be pushed away. They be like, oh, what the hell are you talking about? They become extremists at stuff and stuff like that. I'm not none of that. You know what I mean? I'm not no extremist. I'm not no terrorist. I'm not no, criminal and all that. I'm not no person selling a book or nothing. I literally just explain my genuine experience having my third eye open, and let you know that yes, you can go in and out and tap into it, but it never closes. The information never goes anywhere. You still learning. You begin your journey, and you still human. You don't got to deny Christ if your third eye is open. Sorry, but you become more Christ conscious. You realize the stuff he was saying, he was there. That's how he was able to say the stuff. He was a part. That consciousness, literally, he put words, and the words become flesh, because a lot of words can live amongst people, like, and become a you could create a whole personality and write a book about it. And if somebody read that book, they become the person, stuff like that. Well, he put those words in the flesh so where people can understand this Christ consciousness through the words, instead of having to go through the spiritual work and going inside yourself. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people is not ready for that journey. So he had to use words. He had to talk in metaphors. He had to talk in secret to let the, regular people who heard, but they go in one and out the other, for them to really keep it in their head and think about it and be like, wait a minute, what did he mean by that? You dig what I'm saying? He was breaking barriers of consciousness. If I tell you thou shalt not kill, you be like, why? And you be like, because God said so. And you be like, who's God? Well, he's the person who created you. And you be like, oh, well, why would he tell me that? Because he loved you. Well, wait, he told me don't tell. Yeah, because if he don't kill you, somebody else will if you do wrong. Oh, it's all types of like reasons why, you know what I mean? God implemented these laws, and it's because he's love, and he loved you. And Christ came down to show you that love and all that good stuff. And he was pretty much the embodiment of that love, and to show you to love your brother as you love yourself. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like that consciousness was made in a man, or a man embodied that consciousness and preached, gave other people, pretty much letting them know what was in that realm when you get there, and how you're going to act or have to behave if you really want to be about that life, and you really be on your journey, and you be like, I don't know if I could, be this super positive, giving, loving character dude, but it molds you into a better version of yourself. And at least you will start to adapt those principles in your life, even if you don't do everything. You know what I mean? Because nobody perfect, and you will get used. You know what I mean? Because they hated him before they hated you, and people will not like you. You know what I mean? And it's a lot that comes with the lifestyle, when you will start to adapt back to this world, because you realize you're not ready for the journey, or nobody around you is even on the journey. It's like you're carrying everyone on your back with you as you go along this journey, and it becomes hard. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, pretty much that's really my experience with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you become more preachy, but where becoming a lot real preachy, I learned the negatives, the ups and downs of having your third eye open. You become real preachy, you become real religious, you become, upset over certain things said or done or whatever that other people believe. And it's like, I've been through all the stages, and I'm at the level where it's like, now I'm mad humble, I'm learned. I don't play with the third eye being open. I leave that shit alone. The only thing I like is some silence and stillness to get you to that place in your mind where you just peace, and you at least got the eye. It's like you still see without but I appreciate some distractions every now and again. I appreciate my life being, I can enjoy all types of music, because when you there, you like, yo, I only listen to Christian music. Like, I'm dead serious, and there's nothing wrong with it. However, it's like, when you realize at the end of the day, nobody cares what journey you on. You know what I mean? And if you mature enough to handle certain things, it's like, well, did God really, really care? Like, you start to question things like, man, I'm the only person sitting here really trying to, And then even when you hang around people that sort of like you, you're like, but they're not, they got their own problems, you know? And it's like, some people is happy without any of this information or their third eye being open. You might not have to have your third eye open for your whole life and still have happy days to come. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even knowing this information don't mean your life gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people take this information real, like, too far, and they need to check themselves, because it's like, you can live without it. However, that's why it's like, certain people, it's like, when you're there, it feels, you understand when you start to meditate and you finally feel something, you feel initiated into a realm of consciousness that you were not aware of. And you become more like in tune, you know, and yeah, that's basically it. You know, you start to be aware of how energy works, you know, how words work, how words become flesh, you know, how to think the right way, not stop thought, but how to think the right way. You become more, you know, you just become more spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you become more weird as well. Beware of weird habits, you know, like crossing your legs when you sit down, feeling comfortable anywhere because you feel like this is your world. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know, it's definitely an experience to, is something else. It's not nothing to play with though. A lot of people talk about the third eye and they talk about all the scary stuff. Look, I don't see no spirits. You know, I don't talk to no dead people or nothing like that. Nothing creepy happen. And then you don't have fear there. There's no fear. So if you see something, a dead person walking, or if you talk to somebody dead, that means, number one, oh snap, that means it's an afterlife, which means none, I can kill myself and just go along with it. You know what I mean? It's not that easy. You know what I mean? You don't see no spirits. I don't see no spirits, don't see no shadows, because you realize everything was just fear. It was just people talking ish, or people who thought they saw something in the dark. Well, when you got no distractions and you really look in the dark, you really just see a bag of clothes. It's not a dude face. It's not nothing. It's just a bag of clothes. And it's like, wow, but I don't have fear. So when you staring at it, you're like, I don't really care about the bag of clothes. And if it was a ghost, oh well, you're dead already. That's how you think. There's no fear of invisible or celestial stuff. You know what I mean? You become very in tune and you don't fear scary ish, period. They be like, it's a ghost downstairs. For real, what it's gonna do to me? And if it can move stuff, that means that if I die, I can still move. Like, that's proof of the afterlife. Really, that's just proof of the afterlife. I try to get it on film. You know, you're not afraid of stuff like that because you don't believe in it. And what you don't believe in just don't exist. That's just the way it is there. It's like a whole nother realm. You're not going to be sitting there like talking about stuff that you can't prove, or worrying about stuff that you can't prove. You know, you're more worried about things that you can actually implement in your life and to get things done. But the nonsense, you're not worried about it, because a lot of people, they believe in information and they died believing that information. You feel me? They died believing that information. And we had good people who believe bad stuff, and you got bad people who couldn't believe good stuff. However it go, but everybody die. You feel me? We all die no matter what we believe. So you can live with or without this information. If you on a spiritual path, the highest level is going to lead you is to your third eye being open. And that experience can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your fear level and how you act when you get to that door and have to go through. And when you go through, you see, oh, there's a whole nother of thinking or a way of life that I didn't even know existed. But anyway, or nobody really talk about, or the people who know about this stuff. Well, let's just say they created a cult or some shit around it, and you gonna end up, you know, drinking some Kool-Aid or something. Most people who know about this information, they keep it to themselves and they use it accordingly. Some people become like, join like Masonic groups, or, you know, secret groups and stuff like that, or they really do join like little cults, like really, or create them, because it's easy to create them, because you're not, I'm not gonna say normal, but It's like another level of thinking. You're not better than nobody. You're not lower than nobody or below nobody. You just have another level of understanding. And it can be kind of unintentionally manipulative because you now know like certain people is moved by their habits and their way of thinking. You feel me? They're moved by them, and you can see like, wait a minute. Oh, this person needs this, that, and the third, and he can get that done. How about that? Like, you start to see like certain people is moved by their habits, their addictions, their way of thinking, who they are. You know how to trigger people easily. You know how to maneuver around people. It's an experience. I will say that. But this is part 4 of my third eye being open, and I guess I'll get back to this video. I'm going to break this long video down in segments, but this is Silence is God, your boy SIG. My music explains this stuff. My music, I go in dirt. I knew that my third eye was open. Body was still in no motion. I felt all this energy floating. Was using the air that I breathe as a potion. No joking that held in the sound like the ocean. No more feeling hopeless. I'm focused. Weight off my shoulders. The weight of the load is so potent. Never thought I would be doing some yoga. I'm drinking a whole lot of water. Lungs is a motor. My mind is a modem. Telling my vision, you know I'm devoted to. Yeah, I even put this stuff in my rap, my music and stuff like that. I try to let you guys know, like, yo, there's people out here who know a little bit of something about something. But anyway, I'm outie like a belly button. Definitely hit that like button. Definitely, if you're interested in more of this information, check out my other videos. I go in depth about Christianity and third eye open. What's the difference? You know, what is the eye of Ra? Why the celebrities wear the you know, part 1 and part 2 of your third eye open experience. The good, the bad, the ugly. You know, 1, 2, and 3. I got quite a few songs talking about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, definitely stay in tune to your boy Silence is God. It's your boy SIG. You know what I mean? The name of the channel. I'm not saying I'm God. I'm saying Silence is God. And is God is like a statement. It's like on God. You know what I mean? It's like, this is like silence is God. Like it's godly. It's like God. That's what it means. It's like, but only people who meditate understands what that silence actually brings out and helps you come to the light. Yeah. But anyway, enjoy the rest of you guys' day. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that bell. Hit that bell next to the subscribe button. And check out more of your boy SIG videos. Peace. Make sure you stay tuned in, because next video I'm working on is how this information really is dangerous to the mainstream media, elite, and society. Like how this information can actually be detrimental and dangerous. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that like button. Hit that bell. Stay tuned to your boy SIG. This is the content that I wanted to start my channel off for so long, because my channel, as you look around, it's like everything around YouTube is crumbling. So before the YouTube is going completely, I'm going to make sure that I stick to what I started my channel out for, as well as doing the other things that keep other people subscribed. But this is what I'm about. Peace.